authentic to who you are, everything else will fall in place. People are gonna love, they're gonna hate, but you never know who's watching.
Everything I do, I want it to be as original as it can be.
Somebody did it like this, I'm gonna do it this much iller.
Who comes back and rescues himself?
This was our moment to let people know how we felt as a team.
We've revolutionized this game with our influence.
Meanwhile, on Paramount Mountain.
Okay, we have the northern face, the southern face, and...
the Sylvester Stallone face. Of course.
Hey, how you doing? How you doing?
Is that Dad? Yeah.
No, don't sneeze.
Dear God, no.
Hold it.
Hold it.
Don't do it. Go. Ha! Gesundheit. Thank you. You're welcome.
I've been investigating Ghostface attacks. He's here in New York.
Hello, Gail. Did you miss me?
Want to try and finish this? Go ahead.
I'm something different.
We've got to lure him in. We execute him.
Scream. Only in theaters March 10th.
I think my boxing style is a little bit more fighter or slugger, but I can adjust in the fight.
Against Mark, I feel like it's gonna be a good fight. You know, I feel like he's gonna come out fast, strong. I gotta be patient, keep using my jab and work the body, and plan on going in there and do what I do best, which is fight and break down my opponents.
Figueroa starting to land some good shots upstairs.
Partner Figueroa, yeah, he's a great fighter. He's coming forward always. I think key to win this fight is be smart. We studied that fighting style with Coach Marvin, and it's been great sparring. And we've been preparing that for what happened in the ring.
I feel like he's a great fighter, you know, really strong, really fast, really jumpy fighter. You know, has a lot of similarities to Manny Pacquiao, but obviously he's different. He fights very different. He's really powerful, explosive, and you know, I just gotta be careful on the inside when I trade with him.
We're looking forward, great fight. A slugfest for this year.
And the new WBC Featherweight Champion of the world!
That night, January 2022, I'll never forget, to become a world champion. It's my biggest accomplishment in my career.
And the new WBC Featherweight Champion,
I'm eager to get that again. I'm excited.
And it would mean a lot, you know, being a two-division champion would mean the world to me. Just going out there to become a 3-time champion.
Figueroa versus Mark Magsayo in an all-action bout between former champs on Showtime.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome to Ontario, California as Premier Boxing Champions presents our official weigh-in for tomorrow's exciting night of boxing live from the Toyota Arena. It is all brought to you by TGB Promotions and Showtime, sponsored by DraftKings Sportsbook. We will begin our weigh-ins with the bouts being featured on the Showtime Countdown Prelims, and that is all starting at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 3:30 p.m. Pacific Time on the Showtime Sports YouTube page. First up to the stage, we will start with our super lightweight division. First up, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania with 18 victories, including 8 wins by knockout, opposite of 4 defeats and 1 draw. Here is Samuel Tea. And now we welcome his opponent coming to the stage. His record unblemished, 13 victories, no defeats, with 2 bouts by draw, with 8 wins by knockout. Representing Woodland Hills, California, here is Enrico "Go-Go" Kia. And now the first fighter to step onto our scale, once again out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Samuel Tea. 141.6, 141.6. And now we welcome his opponent to the scales. Once again, Enrico "Go-Go" Kia. 143 on the dot, 143 for Go Kia. Our super lightweight bout kicking things off for our Showtime Countdown prelims. Once again, Enrico Go Kia taking on Samuel Tea. And now we continue on with 8 rounds in our welterweight division. First up to the stage out of Augusta, Georgia, with 19 victories, including 10 wins by knockout, opposite of 5 defeats. Here is Justin Deloge Doc. And now we welcome his opponent out of Capitol Heights, Maryland. His record unblemished, 7 victories, including 6 wins by KO. Here is Trevon Sniper Marshall. And now the first fighter to step onto our scales. Once again, Justin Deloge Doc. 147.4, 147.4 for Doc. Doc is going to strip down to make the 147-pound limit. $147.2, 147.2 for Doc. And now we'll welcome his opponent. Once again, the undefeated and talented Trevon Sniper Marshall. 145.6, 145.6 for Marshall. Eight rounds in the welterweight division. Trevon Sniper Marshall taking on Justin Deloge Doc. And now we continue our weigh-ins with 10 rounds in the super welterweight division. Now coming to the stage out of Los Angeles, California, with 12 victories, 9 wins by knockout, opposite of 1 defeat and 1 draw. Here is Brandon Lynch. And now we welcome his opponent out of Cleveland, Ohio, with 22 victories with 11 wins by knockout, opposite of 3 defeats and 1 draw. He is a U.S. Olympian, Terrell Gausha. And now first up onto the scales, once again, Brandon Lynch, 155.6, 155.6 for Lynch. And now onto the scale, Terrell Gausha. 156.6. 156.6, 156.6 for García. Ten rounds in the super welterweight division. Terrell García taking on Brandon Lynch. Once again, those bouts will be featured on the Showtime Countdown prelims starting at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 3:30 p.m. Pacific Time on the Showtime Sports YouTube page. And now we will turn things over to the Hall of Famer, the legendary Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Thank you, Miguel Flores. Ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon to you. Premier Boxing Champions continues with our official weigh-in for our big night of action coming your way tomorrow night, taking place at the Toyota Arena here in Ontario, California. Brought to you by TGB Promotions and Showtime. As we bring our fighters to the scale, we present our fighters in the Showtime Championship Boxing portion of our program, airing live 9 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 p.m. local right here Pacific Time. At this time, we invite our fighters to the stage and our opening attraction featuring undefeated middleweights presented in association with Samson Boxing. First to the stage from Whitman, Arizona, the accomplished amateur and undefeated professional sensation in the teenage years. Here is Elijah Garcia. And his opponent to the stage at this time, from Montevideo, Uruguay, here is the undefeated WBC World Rank contender, Amilcar Petit Vidal. And our fighters are ready to step onto the scale at this time. Middleweights, 10 rounds of boxing scheduled. His record is 13-0 with 11 knockouts. The 19-year-old undefeated southpaw making his Showtime debut, Elijah Garcia. 158.5 pounds. We're calling that 158.5 pounds. And his opponent, 16-0 with 12 knockouts. He is the undefeated WBC number 9 ranked, world ranked middleweight contender, Amilcar Petit Vidal. £159 even, 159 for Amilcar Vidal. And don't miss this one. It's our opening attraction on Showtime Championship Boxing. Undefeated middleweights in action. Amilcar Vidal versus Elijah Garcia. All right, fans, here we go. Premier Boxing Champions continues with our official weigh-in. We continue also in the middleweight division. Introducing first to the stage, from Rincon de Guayabitos, Nayarit, Mexico. 9 knockouts in his 13 wins. Here is Armando Toro Reséndiz. And his opponent from Accokeek, Prince George's County in Maryland, the former unified 154-pound champion of the world. Please welcome Swift Jarrett Hurd. Bring our fighters to the scale at this time. 10 rounds of boxing, middleweights in the ring, making his Showtime debut at 13-1 with 9 knockouts. Here is Armando Toro Reséndiz. £161, 161 for Armando Reséndiz. And his opponent with a record of 24-2 with 16 knockouts. Here is the former unified champion of the world, Swift Jarrett Hurd. 159.25 pounds, 159.25 pounds for Jarrett Hurd. And it's our co-main event of the evening, middleweights, 10 rounds of boxing and a special attraction, Swift Jarrett Hurd, Armando Toro Reséndiz. Well, fans, from Ontario, California, Premier Boxing Champions presents the official weigh-in for the main event of the evening, brought to you by TGB Promotions and Showtime. Our main event features the WBC Interim Featherweight Championship of the World. At this time, we bring our fighters to the stage. First, from Tagbiliran City, Bohol, in the Philippines, here is the former WBC Featherweight Champion of the World, Magnifico Magsayo. And his opponent joining us from his home of Weslaco, Texas. Here's the former unified WBC and WBA Super Bantamweight Champion of the World. Please welcome the Heartbreaker, Brandon Figueroa. And our fighters are ready to step onto the scale at this time. It is 12 rounds of boxing for the interim WBC Featherweight Championship of the World. The weight limit on this fight is a very strict 126 pounds. First to the scale with a record of 24-1 with 16 knockouts. Currently ranked the WBC number 2 featherweight in the world. Please welcome the former world champion, Magnifico Magsayo. Magsayo's initial weight is 126.8 pounds. He will need to make that 126-pound weight limit. Magnifico Magsayo has 2 hours in order to lose weight and make that 126-pound weight limit. Now to the scale, please welcome, with a record of 23-1 with 18 knockouts, currently ranked the WBC number 1 contender, the former Super Bantamweight Champion of the World, the Heartbreaker, Brandon Figueroa. $125.75 pounds. $125.75 pounds for Brandon Figueroa.
canceled my tennis at the MGM. Scott's bummed. It's like I was headed to Vegas, but it was canceled. Yeah, Scott was into it. Him and his son were going to go with his wife.
There they are, ladies and gentlemen. It's the Showtime Championship Boxing main event of the evening. 12 rounds, WBC Interim Featherweight Championship of the World. Brandon Figueroa, Magnifico, Magsayo. Brought to you by TGB Promotions. Sponsored by DraftKings Sportsbook. Informing you, ladies and gentlemen, Magsayo has 2 hours in order to make weight. He plans to return here in 1 hour to see if he does make that 126-pound weight limit.
When you're authentic to who you are, everything else will fall in place. People are gonna love, they're gonna hate, but you never know who's watching.
Everything I do, I want it to be as original as can be.
Somebody did it like this, I'm gonna do it this much iller.
Who comes back and rescues himself?
This was our moment to let people know how we felt as a team.
We've revolutionized this game with our influence.
Meanwhile, on Paramount Mountain.
Okay, we have the northern face, the southern face, and
The Sylvester Stallone face.
Of course.
Hey, how you doing?
How you doing?
Is that Dad? Yeah.
No, don't sneeze.
Dear God, no.
Hold it.
hold it.
Don't do it.
Down!
Ha! Gesundheit.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I've been investigating Ghostface attacks. He's here in New York.
Hello, Gail. Did you miss me?
You want to try and finish this? Go ahead.
I'm something different.
We've got to lure him in. We execute him.
Scream. Only in theaters March 10th.
I think my boxing style is a little bit more fire or slugger, but I can adjust in the fight.
Against Mark, I feel like it's gonna be a good fight. You know, I feel like he's gonna come out fast, strong. Gotta be patient, keep using my jab and working the body, and plan on going in there and do what I do best, which is fight and break down my opponents.
Figueroa starting to land some good shots upstairs.
Figueroa, yeah, he's a great fighter. He's coming forward always. I think key to win this fight is be smart. We studied that fighting style with Coach Marvin, and it's been great sparring. And we've been preparing that for what happened in the ring.
I feel like he's a great fighter, you know, really strong, really fast, really jumpy fighter. You know, has a lot of similarities to Manny Pacquiao, but obviously he's different. He fights very different. He's really powerful, explosive, and you know, I just gotta be careful on the inside when I trade with him.
I'm looking forward, great fight. A slugfest for this year.
And the new WBC Featherweight Champion of the World!
That night, January 2022, I'll never forget, to become a world champion. It's my biggest accomplishment in my career.
And the new WBC Featherweight Champion,
I'm eager to get that again. I'm excited.
And it would mean a lot, you know, being a two-division champion would mean the world to me. Just going out there to become a 3-time champion.
Brandon Figueroa versus Magsayo in an all-action bout between former champs on Showtime.